Hi everyone, welcome back to part 2 of my International Scrapbooking Day project for 2024. So if you've seen part 1, I made the base. If you haven't caught part 1, head to the description below and you'll find a link to part 1. And you'll also find a link to my Facebook group called Paper Crafting with Paul. And there, in the file section, you will find the cutting list to help you make this. So the idea of my project for this year was to have a project which can be used as an album, but also to have detachable pages so that you've got your album cover and base. Of course, you could add extra pockets onto the inside, but I've kept it quite blank because all the goodies are here. So you've got 2 little folios. So let's have a look at how I made this an incredibly economical album. I've made one using the Echo Park kit, which is one of the 12x12s, which comes with stickers and everything. But there's not many sheets, yet I still managed to cover all this and have 4 full 12x12 sheets plus scraps left. And same goes for my Stamperia one. This one I used the Amazonia one. And as I said, this is cut out from the back page, but it was all covered using just one 12x12 pad. So some very clever matting and layering tricks to come. Now last year for International Scrapbooking Day, I used Come One, Come All by Graphic 45. So I thought, why not visit it again this year? I think this will be the last one because it's discontinued now. So don't expect 2025 to also use it. So this is going to be plenty to cover this. There's going to be lots left over. But I chose this one because I've got some journal cards left over from last year. But also this one, if I can find them, has got some 6x4 photo cards. And I've used some placements in this for 6x4 cards because in all the new Graphic 45 kits, we do have some 6x4 journal cards to be used. So they'll come in handy. Oh, and some stickers. So let's do the inside first. So I'm going to take out my 2 inserts. And we're going to concentrate on just doing the cover first. Now with the cover, I'm going to use 1 sheet to cover these 2 and a different one then for the inside cover. So let's have a look at what we've got. So we could go with the stripes, that could work, but that might work nicely on the back. Actually, yes, I'm going to go for that for the back covers. And maybe that one goes well with it, something quite patterny. So let's start by cutting our papers. So our album page, move them out of the way, is 6 1/4 by 5 1/2. So what's all I'm going to do is make my patterned paper 1/4 inch less. So that means I've cut my paper at 6 inches. And now I'm going to cut at 5 1/4 from this side. 5 1/4. I'm going to flip it around to get 5 1/4 this side. The reason I'm doing that is I'm hoping I've actually got enough paper, indeed I have, to do a 1/2 inch would be fine, but I'm going to do it a little bit more and go right up to the black. So I'm going to go for 5/8 of an inch. So let's have a look. So, oh, I could just cut it in half actually, couldn't I? So this is 1 1/2. Right, yeah, 1 1/2. So that'll be 3/4 each side. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So what we might be able to get is it going to impinge? It should be fine. There we go. Going all the way across. In fact, I just need to take off a slither. I didn't bring any low-tack tape. If I had some low-tack tape, I would tape that down now onto there. But I haven't got any, so but what I can do is just put a bit of tape just to hold it for now. I'm just going to cut off just a little slither. There we go. There we go, that's a better fit. So that then is just going to be inked and stuck down. Happy with that? Yeah, it didn't look straight, but it actually is. Right. So I'm just using some Distress Ink Black Soot around the edges. So that's going to tuck in there. And these ones are going to tuck in on the other side. And just glue them down. So I'm having a think now about what I'm putting here. Am I going to go for that really busy paper? Because you're not going to see it. That's what's going through my mind. You're going to see that when you take the pages out. So there's one side. I'll just glue this one down. There we go. And just that decorative strip. There we go. So that's my cover coat. And I said you could put some pockets on it if you wanted yourself. And now we're just going to do this side. So I'm just having a little think. Am I being a bit too... Yes, that's a bit too much. So let's have a look through. Something a bit plainer. So maybe that one. Let's go for this one. So again, that's 6 inches. I'm going to have to get the two of them this time. So we have got 4 sides to cover. So the pages are 5 1/4, which means I'm going to be cutting 5. So that's the left page. Then we've got an inch there. So I'm going to make it just a bit less than an inch. Just going to go there and turn it back around and go at 5. And if you remember, we did curve these. So we used the large curve. So this time I'm going to use the medium. And that will give us a nice matting layer. Again, I'm just going to ink this. Is it that way? Yep. And the last one. I was thinking how I could have done the back side because you would have had the thing going all the cost, but never mind. I suppose I could flip it over. I should. Now I'm thinking, oh, do I swap? Yes, let's swap. So all that inking that you watched me do, didn't actually count, so we're redoing it all. Now this album, you'll see, is quick to decorate because I, in fact, haven't added any closures this time. Because one of the challenges set in my Facebook group for this album, when I asked them for ideas, was no policy closures. So I took that as a challenge and in fact went even further, and there is no closures at all. No flaps for pockets or anything. So let's... Oh my gosh. It wasn't 6 inches. The height for this was 5 3/4. So I'm just going to have to trim off 1/4 of an inch off the bottom of each one. I think every other measurement is, I have to make sure it's the bottom of every one. It wouldn't be a haul video without a big mistake, would it? And to be fair, it's not that big a mistake. It would have been even worse if it was the other way round and I'd cut it too short. And it's so luckily easily solved. I was wondering why it wouldn't fit. So it's 5 3/4 tall. These sheets need to be. And the left hand side. And the center. There we go. And then I would just do the same then. 5 3/4 by 5 inches. One for the front and one for the back. There we go. So I could take that then out of that sheet. Okay, so and then it's just a case of doing the cover however you want. So I'm not going to be decorating the cover because that's all personal preference. This video is just to show you how to decorate one of these. So I've got my papers. As I said, a lot of these flaps are for 6x4 photos, which means I'm also looking for 6x4 images. Now in my Echo Park one, I didn't have enough. So what I did was I took the 3x4s and just matted and layered onto a 6x4 piece of paper. So if you take one of your 12x12 and cut it into 6x4s, you should get 6. You've got one to go there, one to go there. I think one will fit there as well. One there, and one there. So you can use all 6 of them up. There were some 6x4s in there, so I've used the 6x4 there. I also used, because they were landscape, I used a 6x4. Oh, here we are. We had landscape ones, so they were no good for going on the flaps. It would have looked a bit strange. So, as I said, I put the 3x4, but I used the landscape ones, if I can find it here, on the G45 tags, because somebody did ask for spaces for graphic 45 tags, so I made sure I could fit them in. The Stamperia one didn't have any, so what I did was, again, cut one of the 12x12 sheets into 6 and did some fussy cutting there and some fussy cutting onto the others, and then that one I actually took one of the squares and matted and layered it for like a gatefold one. So if you haven't got 6x4s, it's not the end of the world. So let's have a look. So it should be at 8 and 4 and 6 and 6. Or if you've got some of the older kits, you may have some journal cards from the old ones where you could buy separate journal cards. So you may have some of them you could use for this. I'm actually going to go for this one for the front, for the first one, because I think it's a nice one to show off, because it's got some text as well. So we're going to glue this one on. Let's bring it in. So this is the sort of a waterfall page, but more like a flip book. So we've got room for then 6x4 photos here. So this is 6x4. So you wouldn't want to mat and layer because you can just put your photos straight on and it saves some paper. So we're going to go straight on to page number 1. And all these papers now, because our pages are 6 1/4 tall, I'm going to utilise 12x12 really well, because 6 and 6. So we're in effect doubling the amount of paper we've got, because one sheet will cover 4 sides. So our pages then across are 5 1/4. So I want to cut it at 5. And it's up to you. If you wanted to cut double, what you can then do is use this one on the first one and this one on the second. And as you can see, I've got my graphic 45 tag in there just to show they do fit in. So it depends, do you want to go matchy-matchy or totally different? I quite like matching. But we have got a pocket here, which is 2 1/2. So I'm going to cut my paper at 2 1/4. So 2 1/4 off the bottom. And now this is the hard bit. Do I want to go this way and have it matching? Do I want to flip the bottom so that we have some blue? Or do you want the words on the bottom and blue on the top? Do you know what? I think I'm going to go for that, yeah. So again, just a quick inking. And I always do the pocket one first and then line up the other one, the one that tucks in afterwards. I just find that a bit easier. So there goes the text one. And here goes the back. So that's page 1 decorated. As I said, I've already cut a piece for page 2. Sorry, signature 2, and I may put him. Actually, no. I think this one would be a nice one to go with that. So although I'm doing number 1, I'm also thinking about number 2 as well. So this one is a nice easy one. And on the right, we've got another 6x4 space. So let's put him down. Oh, actually, let's have her. I'll still be using him on number 2. So here we go. And I'm not going to use this one quite yet, although it would have looked nice with that. I'm going to use this one because it's tying in with that. So again, 6 inches. Now in the past I've used this page for fussy cutting. So who knows, there may appear some fussy cutting on my cover. Let's have a look what's on the back. Some gold. Do you know what? I think I'm going to go for some pattern repeat this time. So 5 inches. And we've got the inside of it to go as well, at 5 inches. And we've got a pocket on the left hand side, which is 2 inches. So off the bottom, I'm going to cut 1 3/4, and inside we've got a 2-inch vertical pocket. So off the left hand side, I'm going to cut 1 3/4. So let's just speed it up. 1. This is going to be a bit like a jigsaw now. Okay, so let's start with a pocket. So with my Amazonia one, I actually did a pattern repeat with this because you had the images, the one with the sloth, I think, was that on this page? I did sloth? No, this one was the crocodile, I think. So I'm just putting it inside the pocket here, but keeping an eye. There's my score line. So just keeping it nice and straight. And a nice black border. And here we've got spaces for 6x4 photos. So I'm not going to put any any papers there because they would just get covered anyway, because it is the perfect mat and layer for a 6x4. There we go. And if I was to leave it like that, this bit does jump up a bit. So if you want to, you can just put some magnets on this side. It's up to you how many you want. I'm just going to put 2 just to keep the right hand side down. So I'm just using some of my black tape, placing it in the middle and down. Then I'm taking my other tape with the sticky side up and I'm going to drop it down. So I know that's the right way round. And that'll just keep that page down a bit. So it looks like it's a flap, but you've got that magnet then holding it just a little bit down. See, I told you it was quick to decorate. We're already halfway through. So let's have a look. I think I'll keep this for the other one. I could go for this, or we could grab a totally new one. Let's have a look. I'm a fan of the blues, but here I want something which is going to contrast when I turn it over. So we go for, yes, let's go for this. So on the back we'll have the spots. So again, we're going to cut it at 6 inches, and then the other half will go onto the other one. So these pages are going to be the same in both signatures. So I'll put that with number 2. And again, 5 inches. I'm going to do another 5. I will have 2 inches left. So I'm going to find it easier if I cut an inch and an inch off while it's longer. These are going to go as part of my thing. In fact, I could have done them longer, because I only need 4 inches now, don't I? So that's going to be 4 inches. That's for my belly band. Now my belly band has got a pocket on it, which is 2 inches. So from the bottom, 1 3/4. Okay. So that's what I was saying was, I could have made these, if I cut 4 inches off, I could have halved the rest. How much was that about? Is there an inch left? Yeah, so it could have been 1 1/2 and a 1 1/2, which meant these would have tucked in a little bit more. But still, that's fine. They're going to go under like so anyway. Okay. So now we're going to do this left-hand side, which is these triangle pockets. So I could just put them in and cut triangles, but I'm going to actually get them out of this. So my paper is where it would be now, but I'm going to actually lift it up so it's touching the top. It's centralized, so I've got black on the left and right, but touching the top, and I'm going to draw where that triangle is. Oh, moved. So when it drops down, that pencil line is actually below. Just take my scissors and so I was looking for paper with non-directional back, because when I turn it over, it can actually go onto there. And I don't think I, oh, yes, I did. I'm struggling on this. Like, I don't think I drew it quite well enough. Let's put it back in. It's probably my fault for choosing such a black paper. I don't know whether it's me or the light. I really cannot see the, I can see it. So roughly there. Tell you what I can do. Let's just use the other one, is it? I think it's because I'm doing a pencil line on a very black paper. Okay. So now we've got, hopefully, a nice tidy mat for inside. A dotty one, which will fit there. A dotty one to fit here. We've got our belly band liner. And again, this pocket will fit a 6x4 photo. We only need to ink 3 edges here. And we can have pattern continuation, or we can have more dots. Should we go for more dots or pattern? Do you know what? I'm going to go for pattern continuation this time. So as always, I'm going to start with my pocket so I can help line everything else for the pattern continuation. So it's going to go there. And this is going to tuck inside my pocket and then line it up. Dotty background. And this one will go inside there. We've got some triangles. Again, because we cut these from that sheet, if you wanted a pattern continuation one, you could do that too. But I think it's nice that the triangles are a bit of a contrast. There we go. And we just have this one more piece to go. And as you can see, we still have plenty of papers to choose from. So I do like the harlequins on the back, but I am a fan of text, so I am going to go for the text, although I've still got that sheet, which would look nice because we've got the, it's just 2 horizontal pockets. Let's have a look at where. No, it would come through the come one, come all. So let's go for this one. So this will be enough now to do page 1 and 2, because you only need one. And so that's ready for page 2, signature 2. This I'd probably use to do my G45 tags. Okay, so now we've got 2 horizontal pockets. The first one is 3 inches. So from the bottom, I'm going to cut 1/4 inch less, so 2 3/4. And then the second pocket is 1 1/4. So I'm going to cut, because it's the middle one, 1 1/4. There we go. So this is the bottom one, so I'm going to ink all 4. Oh, I only needed to do 3 sides in this one, but I did the bottom one. Now, you could flip number 2 around, or you can go for the pattern continuation. So that wasn't number 2, is it? It's that one. So what do we want? Do we want 1 and 2 like that? Do we want that one like that? Or like that? Oh, I quite like that, actually. Let's change it around. And then I'd have to worry about the lining up the repeat. So always starting on the pocket. Then do my middle liner. And then the top. And there we go. That's our signature all decorated. So that's 6x4 photos. So don't worry about the black spaces. Some triangle, a belly band, so you can put a nice photo mat in there. 6x4 photos, 6x photos, photo mats, 6x4 photos, photo mats, tags, 6x4 photos. So a very useful signature. And I would then just repeat exactly the same. So all those bits I've kept ready for this one. So we'd have our 2 signatures, and then I've misplaced the cover. Where have I put it? I put it away nice and safe. I think I might have put it a bit too safe. Here it is. So then, of course, I'd cover those 2 as well. Then my signature will slide on there. My second signature, once decorated, will slide. You can see how those curves just help me to slide it on, rather than battling a right angle. Tuck these into there. And then it's just a case of decorating the cover as you wish. So it would be 6 by 5 1/4 for the front and back, and then 6 inches tall by, I'd make it 2 3/8 I would do for the spine. And then, as I say, you could just decorate it as you wish. I've got all these little 3x4 cards I could use. But a nice little album, perfect for 6x4 photos. A great way to celebrate International Scrapbooking Day 2024, but also with that extra unique little element of having your signatures being able to be pulled away and being used as a folio and then stored back into the album. So thank you for sticking with me to the end. I hope I've produced a little album which you'd really like to see. I will do a little walkthrough of this once it's finished, so please have a look through my channel so you can have a look at this one. Also the other two I've made, you can see them in greater detail. If you want the cutting list, as I've said at the start, you'll need to join my Facebook group called Paper Crafting with Paul. Link in description below, but just type Paper Crafting with Paul into your Facebook search. And please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. It'll help my channel to grow. And please let any comments you've got in the description below if you're going to be having a go. If so, what sort of papers you're going to use, if there's anything you like about this album. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again soon.